god, I'm so excited. And so without any further ado, let's just go ahead with the Q&A. Feel free to tell me your answers to these questions if you want to, and let's move on to the video. Trigger warning, I'll be without makeup, so I look very different. Let's just get started by removing these. I was supposed to wear them only 10 minutes, but the filming setup has taken a little longer, so anyways, I found the TMI tags, so that's what we're gonna do today. This is a, I don't know, it's called Clarity Mist. I already have my skincare and sunscreen on, so this is just to refresh that, I guess. Let's start with the tag. So, what are you wearing? Well, I'm wearing a sports bra. I think I got it on Decathlon, which is like the European sports clothing. I wouldn't know how else to describe it. And then some Nike Pro shorts. And my underwear. It's real hot in here today, so also, by the way, if you hear like a background noise, I hope you don't mind. It's my AC. It's literally too hot not to have it running. Plus, if I keep mine off, you're still gonna hear my neighbor's one. So I actually hope that this is going to cancel that out somehow. I don't always do primer, but for this occasion, I thought it was a good idea to actually prime. Also, I know that my brows are not looking their best, but I cannot plug them. Not today, I'm sorry. Anyways, ever been in love? Yes, of course, I'm married. Ever had a terrible breakup? Oh yes, I did. My ex was an abusive person. We went through a lot, domestic violence and a lot of that. So I would define that an abusive relationship. We did have that. I'm also using this hydrating and glowy moisturizing primer by Pixie. How tall are you? I am 1 meter and 67 centimeters, which I always forget what it is in English, but I think it's like 5'3", 5'4", I'm not really sure, but that's my height. How much do you weigh? Too much for my height. I'm never gonna say this online, but I am on a weight loss journey and followed by a nutritionist, so I hope one day I'll be more confident about my body. By the way, as the primer settles in, let's start focusing on the brows. Any tattoos? Yes, I have 3 tattoos. One is here on my arm, and it says, "I will draw my demons even though they know how to swim." I'm trying for something to be able to open this because my hands are now not gripping. And it's a quote, like there was this very beautiful Bring Me the Horizon song that actually said, "I can't drown my demons, they know how to swim," and I loved it, but also I wanted to be a little more like the opposite as a self-motivation. So I transformed that into the opposite. And then I have a tattoo on my left shoulder, but I hope I one day will be able to cover it, maybe with a crow or something, because it's been a youth mistake. I was mad at my parents because they bought my brother an electric guitar, like a pro one, when I always wanted an electric guitar and I had to buy a shit one myself with my own money. So I think my parents actually realized it and they kind of felt guilty, so they were like, okay, we're gonna let you have a tattoo. And I always loved keys and mystery, so I got that one, but the tattoo artist wasn't really good, so I'm not even showing you the tattoo itself because I don't like it. And as I said, I hope I can cover it up one day. The purpose behind my tattoos is always to kind of motivate myself to kind of improve the look of that area, if you wish. So the fact that it's on my back is like it makes me want to work out my back. The fact that I have one here, it makes me want to work out my biceps. So the third one, I don't want to overshare, but I'm gonna say that it will motivate me to do more squats. And it's a cheetah print. I love cheetah print. Any piercing? I do. I no longer have any piercings. I used to have piercings. I used to have my eyebrow pierced, and the hairdresser literally ripped it off with her brush. Then I had one down here, and I had one like the smiley, but that got infected real quick and I removed it because it was so uncomfortable. Plus I wanted it to be visible when I smile, but my smile is, as you can see, is really low, so it was not visible. So I was like, what's the point of having something disturbing in my mouth if it's not even visible? Like, you know, if you like piercings, you don't even mind for people to see them, but I wanted people to see them, so I removed it. Well, I actually went to the dentist to get it removed because it was too painful, as it was all infected and stuff. And of course I had a nose piercing that I once lost in my bed and was not able to find it anymore, so I was like, okay, screw that. And of course my ears pierced, but I have allergy problems, so I'm never really wearing any earrings because it's really irritating me. So that's why you never see me wearing anything of that sort. OTP. I don't know what that means. I don't think it's one-time password, is it? Favorite show. Gosh, I have so many favorite shows. So my husband and I are literally addicted to Netflix. So we have a lot of favorite shows, and now I'm super happy because I finally getting him to watch Breaking Bad and he's loving it. I watched it back in 2017 and I always told him it was so beautiful, he needed to see it, but he was never inspired. And then one day I watched Fringe with him. He said it was so beautiful, so I watched Fringe and he felt like he owed me a show. So we started watching Breaking Bad and he's actually liking it, so I'm super happy about that. But there are so many, like from my childhood I've always been a Charmed fan. Like Charmed is my favorite and I still watch it nowadays many times. Then I love Dark, Stranger Things. I could make a video just talking about my favorite shows, and probably it would be a very long one because there are so many. Let's move on to favorite band. Okay, since when I was like very young, I always loved Marilyn Manson, and I know there is like a lot of controversy about him right now. But I think he's been working very smartly on his marketing. Probably this controversy he's dealing with right now is a little bit too much of the marketing. I mean, he didn't expect that whatsoever, but I always liked his music. I love new metal. I know that real like rockers don't like new metal, but I do, and I'm not ashamed of that. I think it's such a vibe. And I still listen to new metal even nowadays. Some early 2000 Spotify playlists, I just play them and I love that. And I've always been a fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Even though I'm Italian, I don't listen to Italian music. My husband, who is Brazilian, knows more Italian music than me. I apologize for this background noise you're hearing. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I don't really listen to Italian music a lot. Something you miss, the 90s. I miss the 90s. I was a child in the 90s, and I don't know if it was because I was like carefree or something, but that 90s vibe of like finishing school and starting the holidays, I just miss that. That's something I really, really miss, and I know it will never come back. But literally, the 90s were a golden era. Favorite song? Oh gosh, at the moment, I don't even know. I'm really into Bad Omens. But I don't think I have like a favorite song per se. So I don't know. I could say Got the Life by Korn or King by Satyricon is one I really like. It's an old one, but I always come back to it. Scar Tissue by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I really like old song for some reason. Even though lately I'm really vibing a lot to Heat Waves by Glass Animals, Under the Influence by Chris Brown, and The Hills by The Weeknd. It's like my go-tos. And Encantadora by Yandel is from 2017, but it's such a vibe. I love it. How old are you? I'm old, you guys. I don't think you guys know, not all of you know how old I am. Where's my control stick? Okay. I'm procrastinating because it makes me nervous to tell you my age, I guess. I am 33 years old. I'll be turning toward 34 in September, which leads me to the next question, which is, what's your zodiac sign? I'm a Libra, as my birthday is September the 27th. And it literally feels unreal that I'm in my 30s, because many times I still feel like I'm, I don't know, 20 something. I feel like I have so much to accomplish, before I can call myself an adult. And I've always been considered more mature than my age my entire life. But now I feel like the opposite. For some reason, I feel like many people my age or even younger are so much more adult than me, have done so many more things than me, and just handle responsibilities much better than me. So it feels a little bit weird to realize that I'll be 34 in a few months. Plus, like, in this YouTube industry, everybody's so young and fresh, and I feel like, oh my god, that's getting real, you know? It's kind of scary. But yeah, I was born in 1989, like Taylor Swift. I'm not really much of a Taylor Swift fan, but like, I think many like Taylor Swift, so I don't know. I was just giving you a reference. Quality you look for in a partner. Okay, qualities. It's so silly because when I was younger, can you open? Just open. When I was younger, I was so focused on the physical aspect. That was all I cared for. And I've been always having the worst experiences actually by choosing guys only on their physical aspect. I'm not saying that all those who have a six-pack are bad for you, but having IBPD, I always ended up in toxic relationships with mostly narcissists. And as I was only looking at the physical aspect, considering myself ugly, and searching for partners that were somewhat kind of in my mind, I was searching for partners that made me like want to be better. And by that I mean, like, I thought I was ugly and fat, so I would search for super fit partners, and of course that hurt my self-esteem even more. It benefited their self-esteem, but it really hurted mine. So when I saw my husband, who does not have a six-pack, he's not even close to having a six-pack, I was like, who is this? Like, how are we even gonna have a conversation? And look at us, 6 years later, we're married, happy, and in love. So he's actually been the most supportive, uplifting, loving person I've ever had. And his physical characteristic don't really correspond to what I would have searched in the past. Screw that. Who even cares about the physical characteristics? Like, okay, of course, like, the eyes want and deserve to be pleased. I'm not saying that you gotta end up with someone you cannot even look at their face, if that makes sense. But literally the physical aspect is so not even important. At a certain point, you don't even care about that. And what I search, what I need in my partner is actually feeling safe, feeling loved, feeling validated, feeling understood. And it took me years of heartbreaks to realize that this is all I need. So don't be like me and don't focus only on the aesthetic, because the aesthetic means nothing. Nothing. But maybe you already know. Favorite quote: I will draw on my demons even though they know how to swim. Favorite actor: I would be boring and predictable if I said Johnny Depp. But I will say Johnny Depp, Keanu Reeves. Oh my gosh, I have a lifetime crush on Keanu Reeves. I really, really love Jake Gyllenhaal. So yeah, I guess those are my favorite. For female actresses, I like Julianne Moore a lot, Michelle Rodriguez. Oh, I really love Bill Skarsgård. Oh my gosh, he's a Danish actor. I don't remember his name right now, but he starred in 1899 and The Head, which are shows, one is on Netflix and one is on Prime. William Guillaume or something like that. I can't remember, but I really like him. Favorite color, I would say it's green. In fact, my wedding dresses and nails were green, but I really like black a lot. In fact, that's all I'm wearing today. I also really like hot pink and blue and yellow and orange. The colors of the rainbow, when they're all together combined, it's just so beautiful and satisfying to me. So yeah, I guess there are many. Loud music or soft? So I get a sensation of sensory overwhelm when the music is too loud. So I would say that I prefer soft music. Even though I like rock music, I still prefer to listen to it to a volume that doesn't break my tympans. Where do you go when you're sad? The sea. The sea, the beach are my happy places. Nature in general, but like literally anywhere where there can be some water, waves, nature. How long does it take you to shower? I like to take my time in the shower, so I would say if I don't have to wash my hair, it's gonna take me something like 10 minutes. But if it's a hair wash day, it can take me up to 40 minutes. And yeah, I don't like to rush it when I shower. I really love to get in there and cleanse. So I take my time. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? It depends. In the sense that when I worked at McDonald's or like any job where I had to physically leave the house, I would always do a full face of makeup, because I've always had acne prone skin and acne scars and stuff. So I always spent something like 30 minutes doing my makeup. Then I like to take my time eating my breakfast. So I would say that it would take me at least 1 hour to get ready in the morning, from when I wake up to when I'm out of the door, if I rush it. But I always really loved slow mornings. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. I look forward to eating breakfast from the day before, basically. So I like to take my time with that, and I just enjoy it. So I don't want to rush it. If I can. But now that I'm not leaving the house, I just eat breakfast and then, do my morning hygiene, and it's like, I don't know, 30 minutes, and then I'm at the computer ready to edit, or in my filming room ready to film. Even though actually lately I like to do my workout before, so that's also like 45 to 50 minutes. So if I had to do my workout before being in my office, then it would still take me that hour and a half, even without doing the makeup. Ever been in a physical fight? Goodness, no, and I hope I never will. I hate violence. I hate physical contact of any sort. So no, oh my god, I'm terrified of hurting people. Like, even if I'm mad, I once did this personal defense class, and the guy was teaching us techniques, to defend ourselves. But I couldn't, I was like, I can't. Even if you're teaching me, it's not that I don't want to learn it. It's just that I cannot do it. Like, the fear of hurting the other person is just too much. And he was like, all of a sudden, he choked me, and he was like, how about now? And I literally couldn't. Like, I am passive aggressive. I can't do that. In fact, I don't think I did something about it. But it was rude that he just choked me to kind of show me that I was, like, actually capable of doing something if I was in that situation, because I wasn't. So yeah, I think I wouldn't be a good fighter. Turn on? I don't know what that really means. But then there is turn off. So I think turn on is something I like, and turn off is something I don't like. So turn on is like maybe a vibe, a memory about good times, or like a beautiful movie. I get very lit whenever I see something that brings me back to the safe and cozy memories of my youth. Turn off is definitely violence, disrespect, rudeness, lack of empathy. So if I answer correctly, these are my two answers. The reason I joined YouTube So my whole life, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I started doing YouTube videos back in 2010, I think, or 2009, when YouTube wasn't even a thing, or like it was starting to become a thing. But then some friends of mine find out my channel and they made fun of me. So I quit. Because I was like, I don't want people who know me in real life to know that I am a YouTuber. I don't want to be made fun of. So I quit. And then I started again in 2017 in the beauty niche. But it was literally wild already. My beauty and lifestyle channel never really took off. And then I started with ASMR. I started watching it and consuming it religiously, and I totally loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this video, these people make me feel so good. Wouldn't it be amazing if I were able to make someone else feel as good as these people are making me feel? Like, I'm searching for a brush in the meantime. Like, if I could make people feel this way, my life would be complete. So I decided to give it a try. But I had zero knowledge, no idea of the equipment, the gear. My first mic that I got was a Tascam DR40, and no, not the DR40X, just the DR40, the old one. And I thought it was a pro mic. I thought, oh gosh, I have the best mic that's ever been created. Don't get me wrong, I still kind of prefer it over the Blue Yeti, for example, but it seems to be just my personal preference. Nobody else does. But yeah, I thought that owning a cheap DSLR and the Tascam DR40 was the best equipment ever, which is great equipment, don't get me wrong. But I wanted YouTube to be my career, not just a hobby. So you can't really do much with those. You gotta upgrade a little bit more, which is what I did eventually. Fears. So I don't like to talk about my fears online or like publicly, because like sometimes people might wanna make funny jokes and like show you that your fear is actually like silly and there is nothing to be afraid of actually. And they, you know, they just bring it to life. So I'm not gonna tell you what my fears are, because I know they're silly, but they are what they are. Last thing that made me cry, oh gosh, I don't know, I actually haven't cried in a minute, which is great. So I don't remember also what is going on with my eyes. Last time you said I love it to someone, this morning to my husband. The meaning behind your YouTube channel name, well, as I love the sensation of tingles and I want to give everyone tingles, like a lot of tingles, I thought, what could be better than Tingle Store? Like a store of tingles. That's the best idea, right? But initially, my channel name was another. I think it was something like Tingly Pretty Basic ASMR, because I wanted to like highlight the idea that there was no need of like many fancy things to create a cozy ASMR sensation. So I was like, it's pretty basic, it's tingly, it's ASMR. I don't know, but yeah, it wasn't really a good thing. In fact, I changed it. Last book I read, oh gosh, I think it was the YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves, which was supposed to reveal you all the secrets and become a YouTube master yourself, but it didn't really work. Books that I'm currently reading, I'm ashamed to admit that I don't really read, not even Kindle, which is something I want to work on because I know it's not good, but I am not a reader. Last show I watched, it was Black Mirror. There is the new season with new episodes, so I watched that. Last person you talked to was my husband this morning. I wished him a beautiful day. The relationship between me and the person I last texted to. So the person I last texted to is actually my father. We have a great, wonderful, beautiful relationship. He is my mentor and my inspiration. So yeah, he's one of my favorite human beings. Favorite food. I love sweets. I would say, I don't know, chocolate, tiramisu, or like peanut butter and jam is one of my current favorite combos. So yeah, I guess that's my favorite food. A place that I want to visit, oh gosh, there are so many. I definitely want to visit Iceland. I am obsessed with Icelandic puffins, so I really hope that one day I can get to see them in real life. last place you were. I mean, yesterday I was at the seaside. I think that counts. But like if it's last place like abroad, I was in Brazil last February/March. Do you have a crush? Yes, of course, on my husband. Last time you kissed someone? Okay, I'm so boring because it was my husband. Last time I was insulted, I don't even want to remember that, honestly. So let's skip. Favorite flavor of sweet? Chocolate. What instrument do you play? So I'm not good at playing instrument. When I was in secondary school, we would play the flute, like it was mandatory. We didn't have a choice. And then I was obsessed with learning how to play the guitar. So I did a few years of guitar classes, but I was never good at it. And I eventually got discouraged. I just don't think I have a talent for musical instruments. So I just ended up giving up on them. Let's go to those lashes. Favorite piece of jewelry? Oh, rings. They are easy. Oh, I don't have them. I don't wear much jewelry, honestly. I don't like to be covered in stuff. I don't know. It just overcharges my sensory system, I guess. So I was gonna say rings because you don't feel them as much. Earrings are beautiful, but they're just so annoying to me. Last sport you played? So now I do strength training at home with dumbbells or body weight, but I don't think that's what they mean. So sport, really, I think I would say it was pole dancing. My last sport I played, or like if they mean a team sport, then it was volleyball in secondary school. It's been a while since I haven't played any team sports, but like as a hobby when I was like 20 or something, I would play beach volley with my friends at the beach. Last song I sang, oh my god, I don't even know. Maybe it was by Glass Animals. Oh no, actually it was a silly Italian song that they were playing at the radio, and it got in my head and I was like, oh my gosh, I hate it, let's just stop it. But I don't even know the name of it. I am just too old to appreciate that. Favorite chat up line? I don't even know what that means. Have you ever used it? I don't think so. Last time you hang out with anyone? I don't really have much of a social life. Like literally, I'm a loner. But yesterday, as I said, I went for a walk in nature with Dad that ended up at the beach. And prior to that, we ate lunch. So I hope that counts. Last question is, who should answer these questions next? And feel free to do so in the comments. I would love to know more about you. So consider yourself tagged. So guys, this is it. This is how I catfish the internet. Anytime I want to film, my routine changes, but I have a monthly catfishing the internet episode on Patreon if you're interested, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.